Do you ever walk through your own home and feel a little bit like a guest? I mean, you look at the formal dining room, the extra bedrooms, the huge yard, and you have this quiet thought, well, we built this incredible life here, but is this house for the life that we're living today? Well, I know it's a strange feeling. This home holds so many of your best memories, but lately the quiet feels loud. The weekend chores feel less like projects and more like a job. And you start to feel like your biggest financial asset is also your biggest anchor, weighing you down and keeping you in one place. So if any of this is ringing a bell, I want you to know two things. Number one, you're not alone. And number two, you are not imagining it. Those feelings are actually clear signals that you should listen to. Today, we're going to walk you through the 5 biggest signs that it might be time to start exploring what's next for you. What is your next chapter, and how are you going to live out life full of what you want? I'm Theresa, and I've met with hundreds of homeowners who've decided it was time for a different house. And most of these homeowners arrived at their decision to move in a very different way. But I've heard many of the same thoughts over those last 20 years. Some people step through these signals on their own, where other longtime homeowners need more of a guide to help them through. So what are the common signals it's time to start a discussion? The first sign is what I call empty rooms echo. The kids are grown and out building their own amazing lives, which is exactly what you wanted for them. But back at home, it means you might be heating, cooling, and cleaning a house where entire sections just go unused for weeks or even months at a time. You're paying for square footage you just don't live in anymore. Second signal is maintenance fatigue. I've spoken to many men especially who were very handy and hands-on at home, but hit a point where they just don't want to do that anymore. Does that sound familiar? Remember when you had the energy for all the projects, the gardening, the painting, the little fixes, and now that list of chores can just feel exhausting or a huge distraction from what you really want to do. That's valuable time and energy you could be spending on your hobbies, traveling, or just relaxing with friends. Sign number 3 is a feeling of having golden handcuffs. You look at your home's value online and see this huge number. It's a massive piece of your net worth, especially here in San Jose, I know. But that money is locked up in your walls. It isn't liquid. It can't pay for a trip. It can't help you boost your retirement income. And it won't let you spoil your grandkids. Your biggest asset isn't easily accessible to you. So that's not a great sign either. The fourth signal is a gravity of family. Now, as your kids start to have kids of their own, the desire to be closer gets stronger and stronger. Video calls are great, and thank goodness for that technology, but you find yourself wanting to be there for the little moments, the school plays, the weekend sleepovers, Saturday morning brunch, without that long drive or a plane ticket. And that distance really starts to feel heavier. And the fifth sign is what I call future-proof questions. Like my client Linda, you start looking at your 2-story home, the steep stairs, the bathtub you have to step over, and you ask yourself, is this home going to work for me in 10 or 20 years? Linda had hip and knee problems and needed surgery, so she knew she had to act soon before that surgery. But maybe you're simply beginning to think seriously about safety, accessibility, and your ability of your spouse potentially to live in these limiting factors long term. Okay, so that's the common list of 5 signals I hear from so many long-term homeowners. Empty rooms, maintenance fatigue, locked up equity, distance from family, and future worries. Now, it's a heavy list, I know. It's easy to hear that and feel completely overwhelmed, which is how many people feel, especially at the beginning. But here is the most important thing I'm going to say today. These are not problems. Let me reframe this for you. They are not signs that something's wrong. They are loving, gentle signals that you are ready and prepared for your next great chapter. Your life has beautifully evolved, and it's perfectly normal and okay for your home to evolve with you. Think of this not as pressure to act, but as permission to simply explore, to be curious. You've earned the right to move that feeling of anxious paralysis to a new feeling of calm, or exciting curiosity about what could be next. So if you're recognizing these signs, you know you're at the start of a new journey. And that can be scary and intimidating and overwhelming. But that very first step is really the hardest one. How in the world do you even begin the conversation with your spouse or partner? And it can be a really sensitive topic, I know. I've had clients who are on totally different pages and need to work through this on their own speed and pace. So that's what we're covering in the next video. We're giving you a literal script to have that conversation and make it productive and positive. You can watch that video right now by clicking the link here on the screen, or learn more about how I can help at homeownerexperience.com/strategy. Thanks for watching this video. I hope it provided some insight and a feeling that you're not alone, and I look forward to seeing you over on the next video.